Lisa, bring us in.
Welcome back to the Real Triathlon Podcast. I'm Lisa Bakaris, one of your hosts brought on in 2025 after a lot of begging. And we are here with the whole gang. We got Jackson Laundry, Garrick Lowen, and Nicholas Chase. How was
That
it?
was amazing. You're doing
That's
this every
it.
time now.
Yep, it's all yours now, Lisa.
Garrick, did you shave your head?
I didn't. I paid someone to do it.
Oh, okay.
How much?
Actually, it was a lot because my wife makes me go to a real barber now. But it was so dead from swimming. I've never had it happen before, like where my hair's been just like as dead as it was. And so she really had to like cut it down. But the funniest thing, and while she was doing this, I could not stop laughing. I was sitting in the barber chair there, but she tripped just like that. Nick found the drops. But she trimmed my widow's peak down, so you can see there's like she rounded it off.
Garrett, can we get you to pay for premium internet?
Dude, we don't have fiber. For some reason, they don't have the fiber internet here.
Time to upgrade.
Here's all you got to do. Drop about 10 mil to fiber optic cable your whole neighborhood. And then you'll be set.
Like, I can put something on it, but I ain't got it.
If you put a fiber optic sign in your yard, you get $15 off a month. I think for the first 3 months too. So it's a steal.
But if you put an Ironman sign in your front yard, your neighbors just know that you're annoying and they avoid you.
All right. There's signs all over the front yards in Canada right now.
Oh yeah, what's going on in Canada? What is the current climate of life?
Wow.
It's the first election in history that anyone actually cares about, so that's crazy.
Yeah.
Where do you lean on this subject? You don't have to go too deep, Jackson. But
no leaning. No lean.
Jackson, who are you?
Who's running? Is this for
everyone actually cares about it except me? I don't care. I do care, but I love everyone equally. I wish I could vote for all of them.
Wait, I got something for that. Why won't it work? Never mind. Pass. Okay.
It's BS.
What in the hell? This Riverside app is sometimes not very good. Let's see if it works now.
There we go.
That was for you.
Thank you.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna move on from the Canadian elections because I don't know what you guys have up there. Prime ministers, presidents,
good idea.
Queens, kings. But Jackson, you got your first race of the season in a week and a half. You do too, Garrick, but we're going to talk about St. Anthony's first because it's going to be the showdown between you and Mark Dubrick, both coming back from foot things.
The challenge of the broken foot.
Greg Harper. Don't forget about that fella.
We do have Greg Harper.
Didn't have a broken foot. But the rivalry really between me and Mark is real. Let's just pull up the PTO stats just to give people the background on
the
history of me and Mark. This doesn't include the one time we raced in St. Anthony's where I beat him by like not much. He was one spot behind me. It was like less than 30 seconds. So,
ready?
Rivalry.
Wait for it. Don't do it yet.
It's going to take a second.
Here we go. Ready?
In the drum roll.
Head to head. Okay, that was too soon. Okay, head to head. We are 50-50, apparently.
Ooh.
Oh shit.
So, wow.
But then I won St. Anthony's, so one more. So I've won 6 and he's won 5 between the two of us. Not one,
but he's like won St. Anthony's like legit outright. And you've been best of. You've only been 4th.
Yes, that's correct. His performance last year at St. Anthony's was better than anything I've ever done at St. Anthony's for sure. So that's going to be. I would say he's the favorite. Like I don't know how his running's coming along, but it's in an Olympic distance. He has pretty much almost the same amount of time to get ahead of me in the swim as a half, and then I have less than half as much bike to do my thing, and then the run. We're both coming off injuries, so we're probably both going to not be that great. But yeah, it's interesting.
All right,
he beat me 5 times in a row. Frig, in 2023, he beat me 5 times in a row. Before that, I beat him 3 times in a row, and since then, I've beaten him twice in a row.
Does it look like Mark has all the swims, you have all the bikes, and then it's like
I would think, yep,
50,
all the
50,
swims, all the bikes. He has 60% of the runs, and I have 40.
Okay.
But one of those runs, he outran me by like 15 seconds and a half. So that's pretty much
23, 24. He's been a ripper on the run.
For sure, he has. But then St. George last year, I outran him by 6 minutes. So,
is that the last time you guys raced?
But he's injury plagued, right? Like he's streaky. So he puts together a few months of good running, and he's ripping really fast. And then so we'll see. But we got to get him on to talk some trash and be like, I'm gonna crush you on the swim, and then I'm gonna get the lead car.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't do that. He doesn't go out like that. Mark is just like he lets his legs do the talking.
It's true. I know. Me too.
I just want to. I think we're gonna open a what is it called? Like what are those betting websites? Like Draft
OnlyFans.
Bros, OnlyFans, and you can place your bet. Whether Mark or Jackson.
So actually, this is a good segue into something I was thinking. Watching the Masters last weekend and seeing how like the hype from that.
Best Masters ever?
Yes.
Thank you.
Maybe 2019 Tiger was like pretty awesome, but this was great.
That was 1. This is 2.
But what's going to put triathlon to the next level and make people actually care about it, like outside of the sport, is if we can bet on it. There needs to be betting on it.
Well, you can in Vegas, like for sure. They do T100 stuff. Like it's
really.
Yes, I think one of the websites picked it up for like T100. I know Connor Bollinger from On Your Left was doing some of it.
I don't really understand that account anymore because it's all AI and it's like this is chaotic. Does this even make sense?
I think he's bored. So when it gets bored, it just gets weird. Okay, Garrett, go.
Go what?
Oh, you were going to say something else, right? Was he done?
I thought you told me to leave.
Stay.
That's what I had to say. I was like, if you want to make this sport mainstream and make people care about it a little more, like you got to get them invested, and betting is a good way to do that.
Maybe we can start a betting. Let's start a betting platform, the Real Triathlon Squad betting platform. You could place your bets. We'll take 10% of all money that incomes, so then we can fund the team and pay ourselves, obviously.
Well, I think the idea is if you're the bookie,
we can give them insider trading information.
No, we don't. No, you don't say that part.
Oh, sorry.
But you're right. Okay, and it makes perfect sense because I was during the Masters. I was actually watching it. Amy watched it. She was like blown away. We were crying when Rory won. And we were like, I was thinking golf isn't really necessarily thought of as like an endurance event, but it really is. 4 days of 18 holes on those crazy conditions. And imagine the mental pressure each golfer is under. That is like a fortress. So you've got the endurance part of it physiologically. You've got the psychology of like the super intense tactical aspect of the sport. And you've got like, you can see it in person. It's easy to watch. Like it has everything you need to be like a perfect storm of a sport. That's really fun to watch if it's like a championship, not regular. So I think triathlon can't be to that level ever because guess what? There's not like a tactical aspect advantage you can get out like with a good shot or a bad shot. It's like the human body will fail you or it will not fail you. And that's kind of like why we see a lot of gaps. But Garrick, if there's betting, that makes it like horse racing. And that actually is outlawed in a lot of places and looked down upon, but it still can work for human beings.
I mean, if I want to put my money on something, why shouldn't I be allowed to?
No, I think it's good. I think it'd be a good idea to bet on Ironman races and like have odds for athletes.
Yeah. Doesn't cool. Thorsten always come up with odds for races on some of the big races for some of the top contenders? Like Jackson has like a 10-1 chance of winning St. George type of thing.
Yeah, and it sucks because I'm usually like predicted like 16th or something. I'm like, nah, way better than that, and then I'm like 14th. I'm like, shit. He was pretty close.
Yeah, he usually is pretty close to be fair. Even though you're like, wait a minute, that's not how well I want to do.
I know,
that doesn't add up my best swim, my best bike, and my best run from 3 separate races. What is he talking about?
like you just better wait. I'm going to show him on race day, and then like I finish. I'm like, oh shit, he was within 2%. So okay, St. Anthony's is good. Who else is on the contender list, Jackson, that you're going to be looking out for? Because there's like it is absolutely stacked.
There's 27, I think. 27 men on the start list. This is like maybe an older start list, but they said in the email we got today that there's 45 pros from all over the world, and there's 43 listed here, so close enough. Mark Dubrick, Greg Harper, Jackson Laundry,
Matt Mack,
Matt McElroy, Matthew McGooey. I don't know who that is, but he has a cool last name. He's right next to Matt McElroy. Tyler Misselchuk. Shout out Blank Sports Nutrition.
Oh, get out of here. No. Deleted.
And who is it? Magnus Manor. I feel like people have talked about him before. I know nothing about him, but is he's fast at something?
Everything.
Okay, so we're going through the list. I was saying definitely Matt McElroy because he can run 29 high probably off the bike, and he's a good swimmer, and it's like he'll keep it in contention on the bike for sure. Matt Sharp, I didn't see Matt Sharp actually. I don't think he's racing.
No, he's recovering from his broken toe via dog.
He's another guy who could have come back and been part of the broken toe 500, which is the relay.
Yeah, and obviously Mark and Tyler Misselchuk. So
he's on fire.
I mean, he's gonna swim with the leaders probably, and then bike well. So I don't know. Like it's tough. Like we don't know with Mark if he's gonna run his like 31 or like 33 with the injury. So I don't know if Mark runs his 31 something. I'll probably need a couple minutes on him, but realistically, coming off the bike a minute ahead of Mark, I would be pretty confident I could probably hold him off if he's semi-injured or coming back from injury like me. But Tyler Misselchuk and Matt Mack, like I'm going to probably want at least 3 minutes, like because those boys are just going to freaking fly. So we'll see. But I am biking well. Like I'm pushing big power right now, so I could potentially get a good lead. But who knows? I mean, I just want to start with a good swim because if I get out of the water more than like 90 seconds down, that's a big question mark if I can get it, because those boys work together, right? Like it's not the stagger rule anymore, right? It's like it's the Ironman style rules.
I think it's only 10 meters too for St. Anthony's.
Yeah, it's not good.
But
is it?
I think so.
Jeez.
Which is pretty lame, but the swim is going to get canceled. Or shortened, Jackson. So
Why?
That's good. I don't know, because it has been the past 2 years, and I'm there.
This is actually one of those times, Jackson, where you probably would greatly benefit from a canceled swim.
Of course it is, but also, well, okay, there's no points, there's no anything. It's just prize money race day. So bring it on. Honestly, I still want to swim, so it's a triathlon. But if it's shortened, I can live with that.
Wow.
Last year it was like shortened. It was like a 400-meter swim, and then like a 250 meter run through water.
And then a mile run.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Mile run
to short to see Greg's reaction.
He's already been emailing the higher ups at St. Anthony's that some ways that they can get a full swim going, and he just commented on St. Anthony's Instagram post today, which I responded.
He's like, I sent you a diagram of the new swim course I just made.
No, I get it. Like for a guy like him, that's devastation. Like that'd be like them canceling the bike for me. I'd be like, I might as well just not race. Like
swim run. That's not ever the case.
Yeah, I know. Well, it wasn't freaking in
Des Moines
that one time.
Yeah,
the
that's
bike
right.
like
Shortened
40K.
it was awful.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, that was weird, wasn't it? And that was like my best ever half marathon. I think like a 1:13 or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, probably because you're
Or
off
off
the
the
road
bike.
like 40K.
Yeah. Yeah, go figure.
But anyway, it's gonna be a good race. We'll see. Oh, there's a couple. Kevin McDowell. There's a couple others kind of short course guys that are gonna be solid. I think there's gonna be like a lead group and guys who kind of probably honestly just hang on to Mark as long as they can on the bike, because like Mark's gotten his bike to be like really solid, but those guys are strong enough that they can probably hang on for at least a while. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. I find though that the pack dynamic, like they don't in an Olympic distance, I've at least noticed people don't work together as much. Like it's so hard to pass people and stuff because you're already at like threshold. So it doesn't have quite the same group of effect as a 70.3 does, where it will actually accelerate the pace, but you definitely get people hanging on to someone. So
And since there's so many corners on that course, there's a lot of opportunity for gaps to open.
yeah, that course is just relentlessly changing, but it still ends up being so fast. Like every time I've done it, I've been like, man, I'm turning like every 2 seconds, but then you still ride like 46 k an hour or something.
And they're cobbles. There's a cobble section.
Oh,
You gotta like
Yeah, that's like a kilometer total,
yeah.
half a kilometer. Okay, so St. Anthony's, love it. Used to live there. By the way, I lived all the places that everybody loves, and it was cool.
Yeah.
So that's just saying I'm a trendsetter, and I love it there. So,
But Lisa, how's your race gonna go there?
Oh yeah, that's a good
defending champion. You gotta freaking defend.
It could. Ooh, we'll see about that. But like Erica Ockerland is gonna show up, and she's
been doing real good.
Yeah, she's that short course lady, and she's jumped over to 70.3s and had great success with that too. My nemesis Grace Alexander will be there.
Wait, how do you and Grace swim together usually?
She's way faster than me.
Oh, right. She was like she was off the front or almost off the front at Oceanside.
Yeah, she usually swims with Paula.
Shit.
I think Victoria Lopez is injured, so I don't think she's racing. At least that's what I heard through the grapevine. Jody Simpson, amazing swimmer.
On Super League, I'd always try to get Victoria Lopez on my Super League team when I was picking them because like she would always get the swim prime, always.
Yeah, she's so fast in the swim. But yeah, it's gonna be it's a Annie Fuller RTS, Dominika Jeminicki RTS. Yes, we got a Cheyenne McGregor RTS.
Would you get some content for us while you're down there by any chance, or a meetup? Like, hey, everyone's gonna swim or have a meal.
Yeah, Jackson said he's in charge. He's organizing it.
Mark's in charge.
Mark's in charge.
He is the social butterfly.
After the race, we'll all do something. It'll be fun. It'll be great.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's a freaking 1 hour and whatever race. Like it's like you're not even tired.
We're done. We're done by 9 a.m. It's amazing.
Bud, you're gonna have to go ride again if you're doing St. George. You got to keep riding.
I'll just cross the run finish line, run straight to my bike, keep riding, just go back out there on the bike.
Did a flying mount again.
But anyways, so that's St. Anthony's in a week and a half. But more importantly, the day before St. Anthony's is Ironman Texas. More importantly, come on, everyone keeps talking about that Ironman Texas is going to be the second best race only to Kona. So, and Garrick is going to be there and going to be battling with the KBs and the Gustavs and the Magnus Ditlevs and all of those.
Yep. You should just swim right on Ditlev's feet because he is like, it's the best draft ever because he's so tall and just pushes a lot of water. I've drafted him a couple times and some of my best swims ever just drafting off him. It hasn't actually felt that hard because he's just such a unit.
Yeah, I can honestly say I've never actually targeted someone to draft off of in the swim. I always just, even in Ironman, I just go out as hard as I can to the first buoy and then see where I am and then draft people.
That's what everybody does now. It's like, I don't care the distance. We're going to blow up at some point, each of us.
Yeah, it's all about positioning. So it's going to be a good race. But I think Ironman Texas is prime. Looking at the weather, looking at the conditions, looking at who is going to be there, I think it's primed to be a big disappointment for a lot of athletes.
Really?
I think Matt Hansen's going to win.
That would be amazing.
That would be sick.
Yeah,
I love Matt Hansen.
I think a lot of guys are going to be very disappointed with their day. And they're going to go out there and It's gonna look like a really competitive race. I think guys are gonna start dropping and get injured even before the race starts. I can see guys falling off already.
Isn't Patrick
And,
Langa out?
Patrick Langa did say he had some
Like a
was
groin
it
or
A belly ache.
adductor belly.
was it like his inguinal ligament or something like that was strained,
Something like
or an
that.
I think he had
abdominal?
it was diarrhea. I think it was.
but
But I said this about Ironman South Africa too. The start list was packed with pretty talented athletes, and as we got closer, more people didn't show up. And then only half the pro field finished. Like at these massive stacked races, if people aren't going to gain a good amount of points, or they need to save it for the next race in 3 weeks, they will pull out more than we've seen in most events. Can I get a fist bump?
Woo, woo.
I said
Thanks.
that, and then I was one of the ones who pulled out. So there you go.
Exactly.
My laptop
But-
charger, but you
yeah,
guys.
I
I'll
do
be back
think
in a
that's
sec.
going to happen. I think it'll be like, so the same thing happened last year in Spain. It was a stacked start list. 75% of the guys showed up, and as the run was happening, guys were literally just dying. And I was like, you'd see a guy pass out on the ground and be like, all right, there's one more spot. Guy taking off in a stretcher, and you're like, there's another spot. And then the last lap of the run, just everyone was walking, and I don't know, made up like 15 places. And it's like, you just got to hang in there in these races, because so many guys are just going to blow their load way too early, and because they're going to go for it, right?
It's going to be like prom night.
I also think that, like, by and large, these races, if you just do what you can, like what you're capable of and nothing more, if you just have a solid day, most of the time you're going to do pretty well, like relative to the field. You don't have to do anything special.
The
That's
only
what I-
thing I would say that doesn't really matter if you like, this is why it matters for Ironman Pro Series racing, is because it's the time that counts. So it doesn't matter if you're X place, even if guys drop out, the position that you are from the leader, the time deficit, that's the only thing that matters for like the overall rankings. I mean, I guess that those guys, people in front of you won't have time, so maybe less people, but it just still makes that time variable really important.
Yeah, coming from someone who finished 51st place in the Ironman Pro Series last year, so missed out on $5,000
By how many seconds?
by, I think it was 28.
Did you
Oh,
say
no.
51st?
51st, she said that, yeah.
51st.
You know what else can happen though? You can go all over the world and spend tens of thousands of dollars chasing the series and still only get the 5,000. Where I would have been better off finishing 51st like you and not going and doing all these Ironmans and not spending a bazillion dollars. So you know what?
Well,
Yeah.
next year the prize money's tapered a little bit differently. So I think the last couple of places only $2K. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
you might be able to eke in a
And
little
I
bit
would have
more.
gotten
What?
maybe a bit more because I was like 15th or something, so I might have gotten like 8.
Yeah.
8K.
I
So-
will say that for a hot second on the Ironman Pro Series website, I was checking it after Oceanside, and it said that I finished 49th in the 2024 series. So I immediately emailed the Ironman people, and I was like, guys, it says I finished 49th. Like, I'm supposed to get $5,000. And they're like, oh, thanks for bringing that to our attention. That was a glitch in the system. You were 51st. So for a hot second, I was like, I am so rich. And then I
But
was poor again.
you could have screenshotted that, and then you could have tagged them on social media and totally like slanderized them, like,
Oh,
where my
I
money,
should've.
pay my money. And I was here, like I'm doing the FedEx right now. Where's my bag? FedEx, my bike.
Wait,
So
you still don't
anyways.
have it?
No, I got home on April 2nd, and it's April 16th, and I still don't have a time trial bike.
That's why you're freaking all over the place on these intervals we're doing. I'm like, is he like standing up on a hill on a freaking road bike or something? He was for sure.
Well, I was for sure. And then I just got an email during this podcast that at least my $200 baggage fee that I had to pay leaving South Africa, because they got some weird rules, has been refunded.
Oh,
Oh, there you
sweet.
go.
Great.
Thanks.
All is forgiven.
All is totally fine. I've been riding my road bike. Fine.
Yeah.
So anyways, Ironman Texas, Garrick, how has it been going into it? Where's your head at? Where are you going to start up? Who are you going to target? What would make you feel real good about that day?
Man, I actually don't know what to expect. Training has been, like, it hasn't been great.
Excuse number one.
Yeah. My hair's been really sore.
Excuse
and
two.
My teeth have been itching.
Need some more meat.
You know, I've had some good sessions. I'm first race of the year, first time doing an Ironman for the first race of the year. I'm just gonna go in it, and I really just want to get round and get some fitness out of it. So that's gonna be the goal. It's just have a nice, solid, straight day, even keel, get through the marathon nice and steady, battle the conditions. It's gonna be really hot. It's gonna be like 92, I think. And it's as of now, they're still predicting it's gonna be like 15-mile-per-hour wind, so it'll be pretty windy too. So you know,
It's a
just
very
stay-
Chat GPT answer.
You're gonna be racing in a freaking convection oven.
Yeah. Well, okay. So here's my prediction. I'm gonna go 8:38:43. I'm gonna swim 52:50, bike 4:35:22, and run a 3:05:32. If I had to
What
guess,
Is that what
place is that?
Thorsten?
and that would get me 43rd.
Is
But
that what
with-
Thorsten said?
Has to be.
Yeah, that's what Thorsten said.
But with the rate of attrition, that 43rd or whatever will probably be 22nd.
It could be, yeah. No, it's hard for me to give an answer, to that. To be honest, I've had some good sessions today. I'm gonna show my age a bit. Did a track session, and we were running 800s, and I was running like 230s, and I was like, man, this is so fast. And then I think about it, I'm like, that's like a 5-minute mile. That's not actually fast.
Yeah, but you're not doing that for a triathlon, my friend.
Well, that's the thing. And then I'm like, you know what? Like, this is still over speed work if I'm going to run a marathon at 4:10 per kilometer.
Yeah, we're not Alex Yee going for the marathon 220s
Yeah.
and stuff like that here.
Yeah. But, times has changed. And today I did my very last run workout as a 20-something-year-old.
Oh my gosh! Wait,
Oh,
everyone's
shit.
birthday is in April.
You're-
I forget.
You're going full 30?
Yeah, full 30 on Sunday. So that means sticking to the trails. I'm exclusively running trails after that.
No, what you
Dude.
got to do is, yeah, actually, that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Garrick, you have 30% of your hair. So what's 40 looking like?
I've lost 30% of my hair, Nick.
Yeah, that actually makes more sense. 20% of 20, 30% of 30, 40% of 40. That's not bad.
It's inverse.
Yeah.
I still got only lost maybe about 5%. I'm doing okay. Nick's gained
Yeah.
5%.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Nick's still
Pack-
you don't see a lot of 50-year-olds with that head of hair.
Oh, frig off. 50 years.
Speaking of
50.
balding, we need to get a guy on this team who's fully bald by like 25. We need that guy.
There
too
are
bad.
well, we got Adam.
Yeah, but he's actual bald,
He's like
not
40.
like actual bald. We need like the guy who still thinks he's got some hair, but it's like mostly gone,
I think if Ben Canute runs too fast, he'll be bald. It's getting thin, Ben.
I think Ben passed me on my bike ride today.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, because he's in
in
friggin' the
Colorado.
Boulderville.
Yeah,
Truth.
and I saw Justin Metzler on my ride too, going the opposite direction.
What's the story with? Are they injured? Are they not injured? Are they doing a podcast? Are they still racing? Like, what are they doing? I need to know.
Well, I know Justin is coming back from like Achilles surgery. I believe that was what it was. But I don't know when he's racing, and I don't know when Jeannie's racing either. Yeah,
Okay,
I don't know.
so
Okay, so
ne-
Garrick, happy with the finish, 8:40, whatever. Lisa, what does making everything a race mean as our topic for this?
yeah, let's get
Oh.
a transition.
I was just saying, so I went to the grocery store today and I go to the self-checkout and I have like maybe 10 groceries, and people at the self-checkout take so freaking long. They're so slow. They have to just don't know how to do it. And I walk up there with my 10 groceries and I'm in and out within like 60 seconds. Like didn't have to rescan anything. So I was just, and I like in and out. And I think a lot of people around me were really impressed. And so then it kind of gets back to like, I try to make everything.
No.
Nobody
Become a bag
noticed. I
lady
promise
at
you,
the
nobody
grocery store.
noticed, Lisa.
They did. They were like, she's so fast.
That's me at an airport.
And it's that and like unloading the dishwasher. If I have to unload the dishwasher, which I don't like, I try to do it like as fast as I possibly can without like dropping a knife on my foot or breaking a dish. And it's like becomes this like race that I do with myself. So I just want to know if you guys do stuff like that too, like where you get competitive about like a chore or a task that's outside of sport.
3 things. Airport for sure. The second we get into the doors of an airport, I don't care if
Nick
you're
does that 100% of his life. Don't try to pretend like there's only 3 times.
specifically this. It's I'll see you at the gate. I don't know however whatever path you're going to take to get to the gate is on you, but I'm going to have the fastest route. So that's it. And the other one is during intercourse. I always win. I always first.
Oh God. Anyways, well, I think if you're racing through like unloading the dishwasher, you're not training hard enough. That's probably a good indicator.
No,
Jackson
no,
doesn't
no,
even
no.
unload it. He just takes the clean dishes and uses it and puts it back in its spot in the dishwasher until they're all
Sometimes.
dirty again.
No, you don't put it back. You use them out of the dishwasher and put them above, and then once they're all above, then you load it again.
I do that with my laundry. So like I currently have probably like 3 loads of laundry outside of the laundry room, which Steve really doesn't appreciate. I just walk downstairs every morning in my pajamas. I'm like, right, well, let me just change it. And it's probably bad because any neighbors that walk by our windows can probably just like see us like butt naked changing in the middle of these like windows.
Well,
What is your address?
4722
No, don't do it.
West Palm Street.
When I was living in Toronto and I was super broke, I didn't want to pay for drying. So I would.
When were you living at the center of the world?
2018, yeah. When I
kidding.
was in tech school, and so I really didn't want to spend whatever it was for the drying machine.
Like 50
So
cents.
I would wash my clothes,
It was a
bring it
toonie.
up, and just hang up my clothes, and I would just pull them from that. So I never had to fold them; they were just constantly being like.
That's like all of Europe.
Yeah.
They're like, we don't have bullshit dryers. We use the air. It's free.
But in terms of what you're saying, Lisa, I sort of, but a little different. I always think of a task that I think is going to take a long time, and then I will time it to see if it actually takes a long time. And same thing, I have this thing called airport theory. I didn't make it up. Someone else
It's on
made it
TikTok.
up. Yeah, but
It's TikTok theory.
everything feels like it takes longer at the airport than it actually does. So if you time it, you think that it's going to take you like 30 minutes, but the whole thing is actually like 15 minutes or something like that.
I think that's because subliminally airports have just fucked us since birth, because they're always like, please allow 13 hours for domestic flights and 27 hours for international. Like they always make you scared, and they're like, we might change things last minute. We need you here 3 hours.
Don't you
will say-
predate them having all the security? Do you remember taking flights before that or not?
No,
I only flew once before 9/11.
I don't think I did.
Yeah, I don't think I flew.
We're too poor.
We must have, but like as a small child, I'm pretty sure maybe I didn't. I don't even remember. But anyways,
as a
apparently back in
baby.
those days, they didn't even scan your stuff. You're just, I don't know. Maybe they had scanners, but they were like,
Yeah,
oh
it was
yeah,
like a train station. You just go to the gate.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, the pilot would come back and be like, hey, can I bum a cigarette? Like,
Do you
like
guys
anything.
remember like in restaurants where there were like smoking sections or non-smoking
Yeah.
sections? Or like, what do you want? Smoking
It's
or
like,
non-smoking?
do you want to be right beside the smokers or just inhaling their smoke from 20 meters away?
We've got this half-ass glass barrier that only goes up half.
It's just open air.
There's like an invisible barrier that no smoke will pass this, and you're safe. Bring your kids. Do you know they're outlawing vapes in Utah? No more vaping.
Whoa.
Stop, really?
What?
Yeah, no vape in Utah. Gone.
At all.
Because it is like the most terrible thing you'll ever do. Probably worse than meth.
It's just water vapor, man.
Yeah, man.
Water vapor mixed with poison in your lungs, man. It's good for you.
I think I'm going to race St. George 70.3 with one of those nicotine packs and see if I don't puke.
Hey, okay. Speaking of nicotine packs, we got to talk about the Justin Rielli sponsorship.
Oh yeah, he's good old boy's on the nicotine
It's
sponsor.
a nicotine company, right?
Good for him.
Yeah,
I
So I
mean,
think
yeah.
I did talk to
like
someone about this.
Take some guts to do that. I think.
I don't think it's on his kit though. It's just like
It is on
through...
his kit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well done.
But I think his background is like someone told me he used to be like a smoker, and so like this is like a healthier alternative to smoking. So he has like a in because when I first thought it, I was like, I'm like morally, I don't know how to feel about this because like nicotine is so addictive. But then I think I'm like, if a pina colada sponsor came up to me and was like, Lisa, we'll sponsor you, and I'd be like, 100%, you can be anywhere you want, and I'll say anything about you for pina coladas, and money. So. I don't know. Maybe that makes me a little bit of a hypocrite.
It's definitely healthier, obviously, than smoking, but the market for people watching triathletes aren't exactly smokers. So
Don't
for
tell
them,
the
it's like,
sponsor.
what's this? And they're like, oh, maybe I'll try this nicotine thing. So realistically, it's probably more likely to get someone who wouldn't try nicotine at all to just start trying nicotine. But I don't know, like there's nicotine on its own also isn't necessarily like all bad. I've heard there's like actual some health benefits, but obviously it's super addictive and mostly bad. So like, I don't know. I just
According
don't
to Vanderbilt Center for Cognitive Medicine, nicotine stimulates systems in the brain that are important for thinking and memory.
So just
we're going to put that reference found in the show notes. We cite all of our work.
Anyways, just unique, interesting. I mean, he kind of is a guy who seems to just do it for like whatever he wants and doesn't care about what other people think, which is cool. And I think it's good for him.
More power to him. There's a runner also, I think, who's sponsored by OnlyFans.
Someone, my physical therapist just told me about that. She's like a girl, female runner.
But OnlyFans is for regular people too, probably.
I wonder if she has an account where she gives running tips.
She probably does. You should look her up.
Only those tips.
I think, honestly, I'm pretty sure it originated, at least I heard it originated as like, it was supposed to just be like creators and stuff. And then they're like, wait a second.
I can create some stuff.
It's supposed to be like Patreon sort of idea. And then, I mean, like everything else, it divulged into sex.
Pornography.
Well, Instagram has subscriptions now. People are like, what are they doing in those? I don't think isn't it weird if you would subscribe to somebody's that you know well, their Instagram subscription? Wouldn't that be weird?
That would be great. I'm close to hitting 10,000 followers on Instagram, and so I'm going to start subscriptions. So you better subscribe, Nick.
Yeah, but like, what do you want to put on there? Like,
I can't tell you.
Subscribers only.
Subscribe and find out.
Here's the color of my underwear and socks today. Just saying, you subscribe $10 a month. Know that.
All right, so that's a random
transition.
Something about New Mexico race. There's a rumored race in New Mexico, or is it new races in Mexico?
There's
wait. I hit the wrong one.
New Mexico races. Like New Mexico, as in like the United States. New Mexico.
Okay. So what are these races?
70.3. How do you say? Rhodesia. Is going to take place next July in New Mexico, and they're going to have a sprint race.
And as a mother in
probably,
July,
but I don't know. It's probably
at isn't it?
At
we raced. It's at elevation. You say?
Yeah.
Okay, that'd be
probably.
Because we raced in Cozumel in July, and it was miserable. It was terribly.
That's old Mexico. That's bad. New Mexico's got to be just as bad.
I think when I was in high school, I had one of those punny shirts, and it said New Mexico, pretty much as good as the old one. Of course, I had that shirt.
Nick was a dad at age 15.
Yeah, and then I had another one that says camping is intense, and it had a picture of a tent.
I love that. Also, I looked up where Rudisio, New Mexico is, and it looks it's southeast of Albuquerque. If I were to have to guess, like maybe an hour.
What's the stab probability rating?
Rudisio, New Mexico.
6
It
out of
looks
10.
good.
Rudicio, New Mexico is at 2,000 meters of elevation, 6,970 feet.
That's savage.
Wait, did
The
they
end.
have a race there once? They had a race there during COVID, did they not?
That was
I don't
Campeche.
remember that. But 7,000 feet is crazy. Like that's higher than
high.
anybody lives.
I'm
It's
going.
like that's like
I'll be
Flagstaff.
there for sure.
I'm
And
going to live in Park City for a minute.
that's also where Xterra Worlds will be next year. Same
Oh,
place.
I love it. I love
So-
throwing altitude into races.
Yeah.
No,
I
oh
love
my
that
gosh.
idea.
Hate
It
that
makes
idea.
people. I bet Ironman's like, look, guys, people are going to probably show up 2 weeks early because they want to perform well, or they're going to show up one day before the race. Just saying, one or the other. There's no in between.
I'm gonna go a week out, and I'm gonna try to die during the race.
Can't say that. Now you won't be able to have a lawsuit. You've planned it.
Ah,
You
shoot.
have proof.
Dang it.
But for real, it looks awesome though. Like New Mexico, I don't know how you get there. What's the you just drive across the border from Albuquerque?
You probably have to go drive from Albuquerque. La Cruces,
La Cruce.
Cruces is also a place. I don't know. They might have a small airport there. Maybe Reducio has an airport. I have no idea. Haven't looked that much into it.
Sounds like a Harry Potter spell.
Reducio. Actually, how do you even say
How
it?
is this going to be a race? The
Where do you swim?
metropolitan area of the whole area is 21,000 people.
Oof.
That's
Accommodations are going to be hard to come by.
Iron
But I
Man
think that-
doesn't think about
Olympic-sized swimming
accommodations.
pool there to train.
Ironman's like people will tent it out or they'll camp somewhere.
They'll commute from Albuquerque.
Like everyone's gonna Airbnb their house and leave the town, so it'll be all of ours.
But also, this New Mexico town must be trying to like boom and grow if they're
Wait,
going to
wait,
put
how
on
does this-
that
how does
race
it spell?
and
Let me make
Xterra
sure.
Worlds.
Ruidoso? Is that right? RUI.
Ruidoso. Yeah. Ruidoso.
Make sure I got the
Doso.
right New Mexico town. And it's not some other place. Yep, that was right. Okay, well, this will be interesting. Cool. Maybe it'll be a pro race. Maybe
Okay.
not.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
see
but
if
they're
they have
also
a
putting on a
course.
5150
Ooh,
race and a sprint race.
Mhm.
So
holy. They're
Which is
just
cool.
You know,
going.
they should be putting on a sprint race the day before the race at every Ironman event. Every single freaking race. That way, friends and family can just participate and have fun. Like that, they're so dumb for not doing that. You're
Or-
dumb, Ironman.
or if you just keep more people in the sport, because not everyone wants to race 70.3s and full Ironmans, because people who work 40 hours a week and raise a family don't have time for that shit. So let's put these small races on because there's like no local races around anywhere. So Ironman, jump on this. You
There's
get
no
more
course
money.
data yet.
Well, I hope it's a pro race because there's always been this vacancy in July where there's no races.
The road conditions look
July and
great
August.
from the one stretch of road that I see.
It probably
I
is.
see
I
one
feel like New
highway.
Mexico has.
Ooh, so Matt Hansen is his torso. I think it's Matt Hansen's torso is running in the advertisement for the video. So I think it means it'll be a pro race,
Yes.
Ooh.
right? Unless they're using us for false advertising.
Should we get an
Pretty
Airbnb for next year?
Speaking of pro
Let's
races,
just book
can
it
we,
now. So
can we get a dang pro race in Canada back? Like, what in the actual F is going on?
T100 Vancouver. Come on.
Yeah, okay. So, like, 2 Canadians are going to get to race in a Canadian pro race this year.
But Paula Finley will race, and that is why they did it. They got to give her a
Pro
chance to race.
They'll try real hard to get Lionel there, and he'll say no. And then hopefully I can maybe go do it, but we'll see.
Did you already put down your competitor stuff?
Yeah,
How do
I
you
already
register for stuff?
You got to
You
do it
just
through your
have
National
to-
Federation.
Oh, still.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I
but we
was
should
like,
all you should
please.
all be putting your names on these wait lists so we can be in the contender series rankings and get the potential for a payout.
How many?
How do
Yeah, so what's the story with that? We should go over that. So you need to have how many to get a payout? 3 races or something?
You need to have put your name on 3 wait lists for T100 races, and then you're included in the T100 contender series rankings. So it's not like an actual series, but they pay out the top 40 in the contender series ranking, so they get end of the year bonus because the T100 or PTO took away end of the year normal end of the year bonuses. But There's some weird thing about if you're in the T100 series and you're ranked outside of the top 10 in that, you're going to be included in the contender series rankings. But if you're like, say you're 15th, you finish 15th in the T100 series, and that ranks you 5th in the contender series rankings, you will not get the contender series end of the year payout. You'll get the T100 end of the year payout. That's how I understand it. It's a very confusing and a little bit convoluted. But if you were someone who turned down a contract in 2025 for T100, you will not be included in the contender series rankings. So those people cannot get any end of the year bonus.
This is like they've changed shit up again to the point where nothing matters from ever before. Nothing makes sense moving forward. Like
But
they're
it's still there's an interesting thing about the contender series though. It's your best 5 scores using the PTO World Rankings instead
which is
of
a lot.
3. It's
so they're
always been
making those matter again.
So, with a maximum of 2 full distance events counting. So this is like the ranking system I've always wanted, because I'm always like, I've got like freaking 8 races that are all almost the same here, and my top 3 are like barely any better. So that helps me out. But some people like who focus on a few events per year are probably not going to score super great in this, but they're the ones who are in the T100 anyway, usually. So
Yeah, did they announce the payout structure?
Yes.
Is it
I can't see it
credible?
here.
Let me
The
pull it
series
up.
Winners. Oh, contender rankings will pay first to 40th place from a total prize pool of 560,000. First place 16,000, second 15, third 14, down to 40th place 3,000. So I don't know if it goes down by 1,000 each place.
I still like that whole. I like that they're doing this. I got to give them some cred. I like it.
So what I really like is that they're excluding people who turned down a contract, because essentially you could have turned down a contract and then still get like a big chunk of payout from the PTO.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you already turned down money from the PTO or the T100 series.
But it also sucks because if they're like, well, if you're highly ranked in the PTO series and we know you're going to do well here and we know you're going to have a high payout, like, and if you deny this contract and go race Ironman events instead or something, like, we're going to penalize you for not being the best athlete and part of us.
Uh-huh. So it's forcing people to kiss the toes of T100 or tell them to F off, I think.
Wow. That's a power play. Whew.
Yeah.
Gives me the chills.
But so yeah, I think it's for someone like me, I think it could be perfect because I could shoot the sweet spot where you put your name on these wild card races, but you never get chosen. But then you can get into the contender series. So you don't, you're just.
So what happens if you get into
right
a couple
there.
races? How does it?
Oh, if you do get into, you roll on or you're chosen as a wild card race, then you're notified at least 4 weeks in advance. So that's amazing. If you turn it down, and you do finish in the contender series top 40, you will be penalized by they'll take away some money.
So, but my question is, if you go to a race, like let's say I go to PTO Canadian Open and Las Vegas T100, for example, and I do decent, do I count in the contender series still?
Yes, because it'll just be like your PTO points. Say you got 90 points at that race, it'll just be one of those, because all people will be included in the contender series rankings outside of the top 10 of the T100 series rankings.
Oh, outside the top 10, even if they're contracted, they can still be included.
Yeah. But if you finish top 20 in the T100 series, you'll get that end of the year payout. And maybe you're finished 10th or 17th in the T100 series, you'll get the 17th T100 payout. But you will also be in the contender series rankings.
Yep.
But you're not getting that payout because the T100
They're trying
series
to
payout
mitigate
is
some
more.
of the risk of going for the T100 series for people, I think. Partly because people who are like, man, if I accept this contract and I get 11th or whatever in the series, I don't make that much money, this might not be worth it. And then they're like, well, then you'll get contender series, probably top 10, and then you'll get another 5 or 10 grand.
No, I don't think you don't get 2 payouts.
Oh, you don't?
No, you only get one. Is how I understand it.
What if you're
But
doing well in the Pro Series?
if you do well in the Pro
They don't
Series,
care.
They're
no,
like,
no, no, they
well,
do
then-
care. But if you turn down a contract, they don't care because then you're
What
not
if
Pro
you're-
Series
included.
are you
yeah.
talking about though, Nick?
So like if you place like 20th in the Ironman Pro Series, you'll still get a payout from that, and you probably weren't a pick for a contract for T100 at that point. So you could do contender also, and then double dip. You're welcome.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Oh yeah, what
So wait,
Ironman
did
are
they
you doing?
pay out world ranking last year? I didn't get anything for world ranking.
I don't think anyone's been paid from last year.
I was world ranked whatever 30 something, so I should have gotten whatever that is, the 5K I think.
I heard a rumor that's why somebody didn't go to T100 Singapore because they haven't been paid by the T100.
I heard that too.
Rumor
Who was
though,
it?
I don't know.
Just say who it was. We'll confirm if it was a rumor.
I actually don't know who it was. I just heard that. That's
I heard that her name rhymed with Slayer Bibb.
Well, I don't know who that could be. So
Oh,
if she was, I bravo to her
hell yeah.
no, for
standing
sure.
up to them.
That was it. But if,
Well, it'd probably
if
be
you
like
skipped it
$1
because
bazillion
it's too
they owe
hot,
her, so like
I think that's like
oh true.
Yeah, they're
Might
They're
have helped
probably
the
like-
decision.
we can give you a little bit now and a little bit later. She's like, I want it now. Maybe. Allegedly. Probably not. I made that all up.
yeah.
right.
Fake news. So the last thing, where is 70.3 World's going to be next year? And can I hear a freaking Canada, please? We don't even have a pro race, except for a very
I know
exclusive
that Swansea put in a bid for it, which I heard is a terribly awful hard course.
Isn't it like they would
It's in
have to
UK.
have it in the summer, right? You can't
Freaking
race
Europe,
in like
man.
Wales.
Europe's getting all these races. I mean, fair enough. Europe does a good job. They have a lot of people that do races, but like,
Canada can't catch a break. Got a legacy
Although,
of
like,
great
we-
three staples.
we're literally connected to United States. We can drive down there. It's pretty big, so usually we fly. But yeah, I don't know.
Maybe if you guys put on a quality event and made us feel welcome in your country, aside from judged and freaking,
Mont Tremblant, come on, that's not the same. It's like
you got to get to Mont
they don't
Tremblant.
judge the Americans any harder than they judge the Ontarians. Okay,
No one speaks French, so we're all worthless.
Mont Tremblant would be a cool place for world champs. But
they
travel
did
wise,
it in
it's kind of
2014 there.
It's already been
really?
done, man.
Yeah.
Javier Gomez won.
oh.
Lana was fourth.
I mean, where do you think was like the coolest 70.3 worlds location? I've only been to two.
St. George, Utah, 3 years in a row.
I hated it. It's because you had like there was like a
What?
freaking hailstorm, tornado, lightning.
Yeah, but like
and I had a bad race.
I think it just needs to go back to where was it? It was in Tampa, Florida,
Vegas?
or something like that.
Oh, say
It used to
wasn't
be
it?
Clearwater.
I was gonna say
Clearwater.
Clearwater. Just bring it back to his roots, guys. Like it's iconic. Let's go back to Clearwater.
I heard that it was just like people just riding in a blatant drafting line during those races back in those days.
And wasn't it in Vegas for like a handful of years too?
No.
It was like it
I
was.
swear,
yes, it
70.3
was. Yeah,
Worlds
yeah.
was in
It
Vegas
was
one
Henderson.
time.
It was Henderson.
Silverman
Yeah.
was a
Yeah.
course in Vegas, and that was one of the hardest bike courses I've ever raced. Like riding through Lake Mead is savage tough, and that's where Justin Raleigh rides all the time.
Yeah. I
That-
mean, I think Marbella, right? That's where it's at this year. Marbella.
Mabea.
yeah, what's that gonna be
Marbella.
like?
I bet it's gonna be pretty hilly. Like I think you like
Yeah.
climb up into the mountains and descend. I don't think they released the course, but
I'm gonna look.
Can't wait for
Look
a
right
nice
now.
mountain descent. That'll be great.
I know Jackson, you're qualified, right?
God, yeah,
God, I gotta work on mine.
you're
I
gonna
get a little
it.
lucky.
Stop worrying. Anyways, I honestly think St. George was the best location. It's the best. It's a big enough city. You can take plenty of people, no problem. It's big, wide open roads, but a hard course, but still like a freaking safe course that no one's gonna go off the side of a mountain. And I had 2 really good races there, so it must be a good course, and it must be fair, and everything's great. So, what else?
Send
is
it.
there to say?
There's no course yet for the. Oh wait, there's course overview right here. It says swim, fucking wavy, bike, probably gonna have dogs and shit. Run,
Wait, does it
It'll
say
be all right.
hilly, flat, mountainous? What's it say for the bike?
yeah. It says swim, ocean. Bike, hilly, run, flat. Air
Okay.
temps 78 degrees or around 25 C. On the high side, low side 61, and then water temp 64 or 18 C.
We love a wetsuit swim at World
I hate a
Championships.
wetsuit swim.
We love a wetsuit swim. Helps us, not front pack somewhere to swim a little bit closer.
At this
It
point, I'll
helps.
just take a swim in any race I do.
Yeah,
Well, don't put a race on in Canada then.
or Chattanooga.
Wait, Canada doesn't
Garrett-
cancel swims that much, do we?
Yeah,
Yeah, Canada
I
cancels
had a
swims all the
canceled
time.
and a shortened swim, and the 2 Ironman races I did in Canada last year.
The only race I've ever had completely canceled, rug pulled out from under me was Tremblant.
Oh, last
Right,
year
that
or
was-
2 years
But
ago.
that was like it
3 years.
literally would have been the dumbest idea ever to race.
Yeah,
it
so we
was
went
like
golfing instead.
100 yards. Yeah, but you're not inhaling massive amounts of oxygen when you're just sitting in a golf cart.
I got
Unless you get really,
diabetes,
really
so I'm
mad.
pretty out of breath.
Okay, so there is a course elevation map, and you pretty much climb up like, is that meters or feet? You climb up from basically 0 meters up to 557 meters. Does that sound right?
That's
It'd be 1,500 feet.
It's not that bad.
Then you do it again.
Should we look at
It's
the
a
actual
2-loop
course?
No.
Or is that out and back? Like you go up the mountain, then down the mountain, then up the
Don't
mountain.
forget,
then
there's
down
like a regular 70.3 Marbella in March 8th this year or next year, I think.
No, this is the world's. It's
Oh,
1,400
still the-
meters of elevation gain. That's crazy.
That's
That's
4,500 feet.
that's like
That's
That's like St.
climbing
George.
no, St.
No,
George
St.
is
George
like
isn't.
no, that's like
Three-
less than
3,200
maybe
feet.
1,000.
St. George, I thought was like
This is like
4,500 feet
40%
is-
more than St. George, at least.
That's
That's-
climbing. That's climbing from the ocean up to Boulder. Basically.
Yeah,
Oh
basically.
yeah.
that's no big deal.
Okay. So, anyways, this is a heinous bike course.
Where'd you find that?
Oh my god! On the Ironman 70.3 World Championship website. Look at this elevation map. You go up, down a little bit, up, and then just freaking die on the descent.
I don't know why I'm not able to see any of this. I'm
Give
disappointed.
me anxiety. I don't know if I'm going anymore. I don't know.
It's gonna be legit. I hope it's like a crate. No, oh sorry. I was gonna say I hope it's a crazy technical descent.
You try to freaking descend with those guys. They're insane. They're literally insane. They don't care about their lives. They don't. They just do not. They're like, turn at like 50k an hour in the air bars? Sure, whatever. I don't know if it's gonna get sharper or not, or I'll die, but that's fine.
Ooh, I downloaded the map finally, and it does look dirty. That's going to be a lot of fast downhill on the way back, and that climb looks steep. It's a different way back, though, I think.
Yeah, it's all different. There's like 2 different climbs for sure.
For real, this is going to be
It's
pretty cool.
legit.
Precision
Well-
hydration on course.
Well, just wait till I qualify, and then we can come up with dates for a descending camp. We could go out there and risk our lives.
I think they should make most of these World Championship run courses 3 loops. It'd be way more spectator friendly.
Is this 3 loops?
Yeah.
No,
I can't
it's
find
2.
the maps either.
It's only 2. I found it through downloading them.
Oh.
Anyway,
Um,
well, that hopefully next
Good
year.
episode.
Canada. Good episode. We just ruined my day, and that's fine. I love the climb. It's the descents that are stupid. It's like this is supposed to be about who can be the fittest, not who's the dumbest.
You can be both in a marginal way.
Yeah, honestly.
Actually, if you're both, it's probably a performance enhancer.
Yeah.
Especially if you get the nicotine high. All right, this has been a great episode. I hope it was fun for you all. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel or to this podcast that you're listening to, audio version only, and then Lisa has a special gift for you when you sign up, and Sheila's going to tell you about what that is right now.
Yeah, if you subscribe to our Patreon page, you will get insider tips once every quarter. And
Wait, what?
I don't know. We're totally making that up.
Insider tips.
We'll tell you who's
Jackson will send you a dirty sock that he's worn in the mail.
gross.
Some people are into that.
Oh,
People pay big money.
Walking around behind Nick there.
Yeah, that's my kid. Like, subscribe, hang out. We'll see you at St. George 70.3 soon. We'll see you at Ironman Texas. We'll see you at St. Anthony's. And Garrick, we love you, man. Have a great full distance Ironman. You're probably going to win. I've put $100,000 on you through our bookie.
What would the payout be on that? Like 10 million? Probably more.
It would be probably more than that.
Because that's only 100 to 1. Like it's got to be like 1,000 to 1.
What if you knew, like, what if I like absolutely proved and you knew going into the race that I had $100,000 riding on your win?
Would you like actively try to get to the front at some point? Would you just be like, okay, I'm gonna bike as hard as I can for an hour?
What I would honestly think would be like, wow, Nick's doing pretty well. He could donate $1,000 or $100,000 to some bookie.
Donate. I get 10% back.
You know, I did think we'll talk about this after, but I had a thought about something, but not podcast worthy.
It'll be on the
Patreon page
for that.
Yeah, the 30-second after show, which will be on our Patreon. All right, thanks for listening, Garrick. Take us out of here.
All right, till next time. Peace.
I got ish to do, flying through the sky in my parachute, dancing on the couch like I'm Tommy Cruise on a one-man mission trying to see it through.